welcome back to a new video. So, as you've seen last video, we glued that piece on there. So this afternoon I've just pulled my door off and we're going to look at cleaning all this out and probably chopping off like the other side. Looks pretty yum. Looks like a bit of bog and stuff in there from what I can see, but hopefully not too bad. So yeah, doors off. Bit of JDM goodness over there. It's R33 Skyline RB25 DET. Just removed the piece from here. So yeah, it's not too good. Pretty lumpy, probably worse than the other side. I'm gonna have to pull this back and clean between that layer and the other layer of steel. But overall, it's not too bad. At the top there, it's still grey, so and it actually feels real good up underneath. So that's a bonus. So I'm gonna remake this piece out and yeah, glue it on, weld it onto the areas I need to, and call it a day. Finished cleaning this back to bare metal, so I've done the best I can and just sprayed the rust neutralizer once again, just to bring up these little black spots which I've missed. So I'll come back afterwards and attack those. But yeah, I've cleaned it right up, opened this up, and drilled out these spot welds, pulled that back and drilled out that spot weld and pulled that up and cleaned it up. So it's all come out really good. And the new patch is all done. All looking pretty good, so that's just ready to go on there once it's all done. Just a comparison, that's the old one, new one, so the curves are the same. It's probably actually better though, it's got a better piece at on the end as opposed to that one. So yeah, once again I'm going to panel bond all this piece and just weld the top, and probably yeah, panel bond down the edge there because there's a natural seam through there. So it's the next day now, and I've just panel bonded all behind there up to about that section there, so I can still weld along the top. So yeah, she's looking all good. Once she's all hard, she'll look like the other side. It'll look a bit like this, so it's all nice and smooth. It's just panel bond filling up and sealing the edges. So yeah, that's the plan. All welded in now, so just waiting for that glue to go off. So meanwhile, while that's going off, I've just cleaned up all this area, cleaned up all the panel bond, so it's got a nice seal down the edge of that little strip that I glued on, and just clean up all the stuff around here and all in here. So I'm just going to spray some of this etch epoxy over top just for the time being, and then move on to the next spot. New evening, so tonight I've just been cleaning up all my area up here, all around the glue there, and all the way through here, clean up all the rust around the hinges that was behind each of them, and all the sort of black flaky paint that was through here, clean up all through here, just through there, and I've actually sprayed some rust proofing just through there and in these hinge holes because there's a bit of surface rust just right behind where the hinges are sitting. So I've made a new discovery tonight which I'm not too happy about. So we've got this hole here, but if you come on the inside, I pulled out my wiring and all that sort of stuff, you can see that stuff that's happening up the top there. Just that one patch, everything else looks to be alright. So I've just peeled this open just to see how bad it is. I'm still going to do one more spot weld so that can pull down. It's not too, well, it looks worse than what it is I think, because half that's this rotten old sealer. Up on the side I've pulled out all my heater box and all that stuff, and wiring loom so I can get up into here, and you can see it quite clearly now. So it's all that area there. It's not too bad up there, it's just all that. So I'm going to clean it out and see where I get to, how holy it gets. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully I can keep it quite minimal, and hopefully once I get it down it's not too bad. So that's what I'm going to do. all the stuff come out nice last night. And I just did a few little spots underneath there, cleaning my sill off. And she's looking good. Nice and clean now. So spray the rust neutralizer in all the gaps there. It's all dripping off. Sprayed up inside here, where she's all just doing its thing. A little bit of a hole there, but that goes to the outside, which is there, so that's not really an issue. So yeah, gotta wait for this to go off, and then I might actually panel bond these two together, since there's only two welds there and one weld at the front there, so it's bugger all. So at least with the panel bond, the whole area will be sealed and glued and super strong. Since I can't do too much in the pillar piece at the moment while that stuff's going off, I'm deciding to do a bit of paint and dent removal with my glue kit. So I've got a little tab on there, a couple of little dents on the roof that I've got to do, and on the tailgate you might be able to see in the shine, there's a few little ripples going on just from where hands have pushed down the boot. There's a bit more than a few just in the camera, but yeah, I'm going to try and lift those up, make it a bit tidier, and possibly might be able to get up in there, but hey, I'll do the easier way first and see how we get on, and then eliminate how much bulk goes into the car. So the roof dents have come out good. I just did one in the middle there, one on the side here where that paint's gone, one over the far side there where you can't really see it. Then I've done this one down here, and I'm just going to block it down once it comes to that time. And now I've just glued on my next one. First set of all these ones through here. I've got about 5-6 of them. So I'm going to about try and pull this and see how it goes. Not too much luck here, unfortunately. So this one's ripped off the Hunger paint and bog right back to bare steel. But bonus is it's clean bare steel, not rusty bare steel. I tried this area and it just wasn't really raising. So it has come up a bit, but there's a bit on either side. So what I might do is just wait until all this is stripped back to steel, since there's all bog through it, and see what we're working with. Just started on these little areas inside the boot shut here. So I just ground this one back and it's come back pretty good, and just sprayed some of the rust neutralizer on it, but it's will come up shiny, so that means there's no rust. If there's rust, there'll be little black dots appearing. And I've just started attacking this. It's actually good underneath up until where I've drawn the line, so I'm going to cut that section out, and then I'm not sure yet, but I might bring this piece down here and up, but leave it just underneath there so it stays underneath the rubber. That way I still keep the factory join going on there. So I'm going to try and do that first and see if it works for me. Just taking that off as well. So that side's good. I just got one more area up the top there to do, and pull the hatch off and see what's happening around these hinges. Hopefully they're all good. Someone sprayed some black stuff on there. Hopefully it's just for potential rust proofing some time ago. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. The rust neutralizer is still going off down in here, so just trying to do some other little jobs before I go home. It's getting near 9 PM on a weekday. Just finished chopping this piece out, so it actually looks a lot worse than what it is. It is holy, but underneath you can see it's still got the fresh undercoat paint. It's still good there. Just where it's overlapped, it's all yuck and disgusting. So I'm going to fabricate my patch now and make it work, clean up all this area. And I'm going to double check that side just to make sure it's not all festering up and behind. This evening I've just removed my tailgate, taken off the car, just so I can access everything up around the hinges. I've actually cleared out most of the crap out the back as well that was sitting around in there. So yeah, as I was folding up the patch for this area, done that. So that's looking a bit like that sort of thing. This is good. The hinges aren't too bad, just got to clean those areas up. Same with that side. And clean up through that surface rust along that back edge. And on this side, I'll clean up all this as best as I can for now. All this crap stuck in here. A few bubbles, which is a better look at it. So hopefully that'll cleaned up nicely. And down here's pretty tidy. I'll just run the grinder over that sharp piece there. And yeah, it's all good around this side. And I'll spot a few little bubbles under there, so I'll tack that too. But it's nothing major either. So that's good. Time to get cleaning up all this surface rust. Just finished cleaning out all around here. So it's come out really good. Cleaned off all that little strip along the back of the roof, back to bare metal. So she's nice and clean. I've just put some rust neutralizer on there, but there's nothing going black yet, so that's good. Looks like I've got most of everything. Cut out the section through here. I'm just going to put a new bit in there. Screw on that back to metal. Ground that little 20 bit back, but it's pretty clean. There's nothing to worry about on that piece. Done a few bits just on the inside in a few areas. One up there, down there, and down in here. So yeah, done that the other night. And cleaned out that join. Yeah, just cleaned out all the sealer all the way through the top piece. And yeah, it's looking good. So, like the front up here, I have moved around just to double check this side, and yes, there is some rust up there. Not as bad, but very bit of. I just taken a bit of the paint off of Y wheel. Slight rusty tinge, but if we can zoom up in here, I'm not sure if you'll see it, but there you see it. So it's not as bad as the other side. It's only that little back corner, but yeah, I'm going to have to clean that out, unfortunately, and probably open the seam up like the other side, just to make sure it's good, because I don't want to do all this work and in no time have it fester out again, because I plan to own this car for many years, hopefully. Well, got a little wee bit carried away here. Opened up everything on this one, right up through there, right up there, and yeah, quite a few holes in amongst all that stuff. Glued up my front seam now, so it's just all closed up and glued way to set. Probably a bit hard to see up into here, but it's just all glued up in the top corner. Same as the other side, I've done the same. And come around here, I've glued in a little chunk of steel in that section. Put a bit of glue, there's a bit of a funny thing there. So it's just to fill it up. This patch is in place, so it's looking nice and tidy. So I clean up all the glue. Done this patch. It's very hard to see as well once before the clamps on there. And I've done this patch up here, which is also very hard to see with the clamps. Nice and tidy, and a little tiny divot where the rust was, which I cleaned out. So that's all done. And I've also glued up this patch. This is a bit more fiddly than the rest of them, but I've got there in the end. So once I clean all back, it should be nice. And you can just see where I've pulled it back, where that was folded up. So it's not too bad looking. Might tidy it up a bit more once the glue's all hardened. But yeah, looking good. Finished tidying up all these areas here from where I glued it up. So they've come up pretty good. Nice and tidy up underneath. So I'm going to spray some more of the rust neutralizer in there in case there's anything in behind I haven't quite got. But yeah, I'm very happy with how that's come out. Just started picking out all the sealer through here. Out around the top. The windscreen didn't come out today, so that might be happening tomorrow. the guy was too busy. And here I've just tidied up these areas with my patches, so it's all clean and tidy. Same with up there and down here, and same as up there. So yeah, it's all looking good. Tidy underneath too. Same with that one there. So you can't even really tell there's a step in there at all. It's just as it is. Just finished on my sill, so I've cleaned this right back, taken all the black off, and that's just the factory grey undercoat under there. So there's no bog at all, so I'm very happy about that. There's a few little dimples which I'll sort out once it's primed, because I don't want to bog to the steel. So yeah, nice and clean. Sill's looking great. And I'm just cleaning this area up. I'm just going to put some of my etch epoxy over top. Same with my back pieces, just so they don't rust up in the meantime. Windscreen got removed today, so what are we left with? You can see a piece of rust right there, nothing too major. The rest of it's pretty good. And then a piece down this bottom corner. Just got nice and grotty and cleaned up with the sealer. It's like this all over me. It's disgusting. That's all done now. So the verdict is, top's pretty mint. Got the one spot there which actually has a hole in it. The rest of it's pretty clean all the way through. So you just got this little bit of, it's not bad rust, but it's just a bit pitted. And coming down here, it's all good. And then we've got this chunk here which I showed you before, which I'm going to clean out. And then it's got this sort of stuff through here which isn't major at all. I'm just going to clean it back to steel and spray my famous rust neutralizer in it, just to kill anything that may be lurking in there. So the rest of that is pretty darn good. There's a little bit of surface rust just in this joint here, but as you can see, it's nothing major to worry about. Come around this side, you'll see the hole. So that's nothing much, but yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the worst bit in the whole top. The rest of it's pretty good. Up here's all good. There's a few bits here where it's just pitted and just gone underneath where the sealer was. I've actually cleaned out both gutter rails too at the same time, right up there, and they're all nice and clean. And yeah, so coming down here, it's all nice and clean again. That joint's pretty good, and this is pretty good along here. So it's mainly just the other side. Well, there's a few things through there, but yeah, I'll clean that out. So that little speck above that little bracket, next to the bracket, is the other side of that dash. So it's pretty clean. I see there's another little spot there I need to attack. As you can see, all my sealer on panel bond, sealing up all this area here from the inside. Nice and clean now. So just stand up around the top. Bit of a hole there, but I'm going to spray the rust neutralizer on first. And cleaned out this right in the channel. All clean down here, sanded, just so that the rust neutralizer isn't going to a shiny surface. And then I'll sand it again once it comes to priming time. But yeah, it's all come up good. So I'll head around this side. This patch has come up nice and clean. Just a couple of little festery bits, but they're all clean now. So I'll let that neutralizer get in the cracks and do what it needs to do. It's all clean up there. Just found another piece of rust underneath the paint there, so clean that off and cleaned out that channel. So she's good. Time to tape it up and put some rust neutralizer on and head home for the night. It's getting near 9 PM on a weekday. So this is where I'm going to end this video. Once again, it's pretty long enough, as I say in every video. So next video we can carry on with doing this and progress on to the next stage of this car. So I hope you enjoyed watching what I've been doing. So yep, that's it. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.